Hello, hello. How are you all doing? Hope you're all enjoying things, enjoying the new release. Been out for the Lord, yeah, not far off a week now. And man, has it been busy time. There has been so many new players, so many new bugs and features coming through. So that has been absolutely flooding my time with stuff to do. But hey, it's been good to see lots of people having fun with it. So, what are we up to? Well, now that we've got, the main release out the way. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, now I've got the main release out the way. That was obviously the thing that was focusing my attention on getting everything sorted for that. We can turn our attention to the wider stuff. First on that list, we have some reworks coming down the lines. The first of which is a rework slash tweak to Sublime. Improved tournaments, improved sec system, building on top of the whole tournaments, and then starting work on potentially some hard mode, potentially more story quests, or potentially start on world shaping. So we'll see how it goes after that. That's in the coming weeks. But today we are thinking about Sublime and the issues with it. So first, I'll set out my thoughts here. And then we'll have a little. We've got a start or something. We're going to keep going with it, see where we get, and you can just listen to me talk out loud, really. So, that's what I'll hop on over to the game. Sublime has a couple of issues at the moment, or Harmony, mainly around the fact that it is very restrictive. Sublime as a whole requires people to play very specific builds, and that can be unfun if you struggle with that particular harmony type, sublime type. The idea would be that we are looking to not get rid of the system, but make it a bit more flexible so that you can kind of pick what you want to interact with while still having an incentive to push yourself into unfamiliar territory and try something you're maybe not so confident about. So, at the moment, there's four types of harmony. We have inscribed patterns, we have spiritual resonance, we have alchemical arts, and we have forge works. And they are tied each to a particular item type. However, the concept would be we change that. Instead, you can pick which harmony type you craft Sublime with. And each harmony type gives a different bonus. So if you want to craft your Celestial Ascension Talisman with alchemical arts, you can do so. And you will get a specific bonus for doing so. In this case, alchemical arts on talismans will give max barrier. Whereas if you pick Forge Works, you'll get damage resistance, things like that. So that is the idea of where we're going. Now we have a little doc here, and part of this will be showing off my particular workflow with AI coding assistants and where they fit in. At least for me. This is my design document for the Sublime Crafting rework. So, the core concept is we turn Sublime into what's called a harmony augment, which is the effect Sublime has on a craft. And it is a combination of harmony type and quality. And with those together, you get stats and upgrades. And so completely replacing the current system of just quality giving percentage-based increases to every stat on an item. Because, a lot of items just didn't do anything for that, or you'd have to hit specific thresholds and every number between those was completely worthless, or they became completely overpowered. It was a bit of a mess. So yeah, we're addressing these two problems. The the harmony minigame was very tied to item kind, so you'd kind of end up running the same minigame over and over again for particular items, and you had no flexibility to change it based on your particular playstyle. And the second part being that, as I said, the quality increase was just a bit iffy, and it didn't really scale nicely to different problems, different items, and give you a clear progression. So, yeah, as you already saw, we have a base outline of this, which is the fact that the sublime is a choice. You get a pick, you get this little dialogue which lets you choose which sublime or harmony type you use. And that is then going to be stored on this new structure. Instead of quality tier, we have this harmony augment entry, which contains 2 values. Now, the critical thing is, each item will also define what certain thresholds of harmony do on that particular item. So, potentially on our Celestial... Well, actually, no, let's hop back over to the game. If we have a look at our Celestial Ascension Talisman, it has a fist boost thing and a flowing, a flow consumption and a damage boost. So we could have, if you craft it with inscribed patterns, the fist boost increases at certain ranks. Maybe it is every 3 you get plus 1%, or every 5 you get plus 1%. Whereas if you craft it with alchemical arts, maybe it reduces the flow cost down to 1. Over the, maybe at 9 it reduces to 2, and 13 it reduces it to 1, something along those lines. Or a different one, Forge Works might increase the damage. So there's a variety of different options that you can then pick from, very much drawing off the idea of core formation masteries, where you essentially choose an upgrade, but you can't get all of them. You have to pick one. This is a similar concept we'll be going into here. So that is this. Now, to make it actually scale linearly, we also want to add a generic stat. So every harmony will provide a generic stat to your item for every single tier. So you will never have a tier where you get no bonus for upgrading that one. In this case, we have this map. Oh, actually, and we want to add a new harmony type called the Formless Way. The Formless Way is no restrictions or bonuses, essentially no mechanics, just big number. It is just base crafting, but you need to take it as high as you can. And the offset is it will have a higher threshold for each tier, so for the complexity. So it is more difficult to max out Formless simply because it's higher complexity, but you also have no restrictions, so you can just build whatever build you like and go crazy. So this is the concept at the moment as we have it, of the mapping. So if you use Forge Works to craft clothing, it adds defense to the gear. If you craft an artifact with inscribed patterns, you get overheal. And it's maybe the overheal is 1% per tier, so it is quite clear exactly what it does. And that's about it. I mean, what we're looking to do is first build out the main features of, does this thing actually work? And then we're going to go through every single Sublime item and add what the 5 different harmonies do on that item. Some cases, nothing. Not every harmony will have a particular upgrade on every item, but we want to make sure that we have a nice spread, and hopefully going through and balancing them neatly so it's not all like focus on Forge Works, for example. So, yeah, this design document I spent some time this morning writing up and going back and forth with Claude on it. And then about an hour ago, I said, go implement the doc. So what we currently have in the code base is a basic pure AI, pure vibe coded implementation of this document. We'll go through this and we will look at what it's done and we will fix everything that is iffy. before we then go in and start implementing all of the actual individual item upgrades. Yeah, so we'll see where we get to. So let's see what it looks like, mostly in game. So this is obviously the first interaction point you have. When you click Sublime Craft, you get to pick a harmony. And this looks terrible. Like this needs a bunch of work. We need to display specifically. Well, these icons need better display. The names need a better display. The difficulties are all wrong. The stat upgrades look iffy, and there's also no indication of if it gives an upgrade or not. Sorry, a specific stat change upgrade. What I'm talking about. So we want to polish this UI. That's a good question. Where does this live? This is probably the harmony select dialog, right? Let's go and start messing around with it. Ah, yeah, so each harmony will be unlocked with its own quest. Hi, and welcome. Hope you're doing fine. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. I'm doing good. I'm a big weight off my mind, having the release done and bugs fixed, and I can start working on fun stuff like subliming the sublime here. Yeah, so harmonies, right? Yeah, harmonies are going to be unlocked via quests. Each quest itself, but each harmony will have its own quest. Instead of having that central one where it's the Forge Spirit talking you through, the Forge Spirit will probably only unlock the Formless Way. And then each of the others will be locked individually via other quests throughout the world. And it also gives us the capabilities to add new quests for new harmony types in the future. We can make up all sorts of crazy stuff and not have it require re-architecting every existing like moving items to these new types. So what we got? We have obviously the item and the inputs, and then the callbacks for selecting and closing. It's the harmony card that we're looking at that looks a little bit iffy. Now the harmony card has an icon, which is the icon. I think they're pulling it from MUI icons library. Yeah, there we go. Just the MUI icons, nice and simple. Maybe we should move to Lucid just to have a larger supply of icons at some point. Let me just check what these look like. I mean, at the moment, they look fine. They're not exciting, but they are good enough. We can always make them fancier later. But they're all the same color. They're all very static. Wait a second, can I show them both? Let me see if I can do some screen faffing around. Right. Another quick. We're looking to make Sublime better. We're looking to show. We're looking to give the user the ability to choose what Sublime they use to make a Sublime craft, and also have some sort of perfectly scaling benefit to Sublimes rather than having it be purely thresholded. I'm just playing around with making a new view that allows us to mix both the code and the game screen on one view. 1 second. We'll add. Right. Scene. Yes. VS Code's there. And then we also want to put this one in. Oh, no, up there. Down a bit. You can go up here. Maybe we'll put these slightly off screen. Yeah. Not too bad. How's that look? You can see the game and the code at the same time. Beautiful. Oh, I should probably have some music going. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Give me a sec. Right, let's grab everything from here to... Sure. How about that? And do we have a little bit of audio coming through? Might be a bit loud, actually. Awesome. Well, hopefully that will underline my voice quite nicely. Okay, so you can see we've got the UI there. We've got our lovely little icons for each of the different harmony types. And we need to make them fancier. They are at the moment. Oh, is it too low now? Let me just adjust that. This one should be maxed. How about that? I think that might be alright. Yeah, so we want to make sure that these are all... Yeah, fair enough. Up there. We'll make sure that each of these patterns is immediately recognizable, so that you can just glance at it. This is also the icon we'll use on the items, so you can just at a glance tell what harmony type was used to craft it. So they need color. They need some sort of backing effect, most likely. So probably quite similar to the gold effect we have on stars. And the titles need to, you know, not wrap onto two lines. That would probably be quite useful as well. Let me just... There we go. Okay, so first things first. Let's have a little look at how we render the item icons. Actually, let's have a look at what they look like in the inventory. Not quite. So, as you can see here, each of the harmony types will give you a different bonus. So you can pick which one you want to do, but they are tied to a bonus. So if you want to, say, add crit chance, you'll have to inscribe patterns. Additionally, an item may have upgrade certain thresholds for which harmony you pick. So if we, for example, this one here, Celestial Ascension Talisman, if you do inscribe patterns, maybe it's mapped to give extra fist boost. But if you do alchemical arts, it might give you reduced flow for the trigger. Or Forge Works might give you extra damage. Or, you know, one of them might give you both of them. So there's each item will have a configuration of what the different harmonies do to that item on a case-by-case basis. I mean, yes, that is 60 plus items hand-authored for 5 plus harmonies to do different things. It's a ton of work, but I think it would be a lot better. It will fix a lot of the issues that people currently have where stuff just stops working, or sorry, it doesn't upgrade cleanly, things like that. Right, so what we're going to look for is... oh, no, that's not the inventory. Here we go. So these stars look lovely. So we want something probably similar like that to back like these effects. Now I don't not remember where those are done, so we will find out. It's probably, well, it's definitely going to be part of the item tooltip, so we can have a look there. And that's probably... Oh, animated stars. This is probably the one. So we render it with a stroke width. Oh, we just give a stroke to it. Fair enough. We can probably do something similar over here. We are spawning these as SVGs. A drop shadow on it as well. Yeah, how's that look? Yeah. It's got a bit of shininess to it. Now we just need to look at adding individual colours. Probably like an orange, maybe green. This one should probably stay as gold, because it's like formation stuff. Spiritual resonance. Maybe like a purple. I know whenever I do it, I always run it as a support, so maybe it maps to purple colour quite nicely. And the formless way should probably just be like a cyan or something. Let's see how the different colours look anyway. We should probably define it as part of the harmony config. Yes. Actually, why are these here? These should be defined in here. Name description. Oh, they kind of technically are defined in there. Fair enough. Okay, so these need... Icon needs to be here. Where's... Oh, it's currently over here. Icon, icon color, string, and icon border color. Probably a good spread of things. What else would we need conceptually? Probably about it. We could probably get away with just those. So those are defined up here somewhere. Actually, I think it's next to data. Ah, here we go. Harmony. Yes. Alchemical. What do you do?